only what we know works, we run the risk of becoming stale and stagnant. We talked a bit, what's that?
This is a growth opportunity, something to be excited about. So yeah, like Alex and I have had opportunities to expand in the past, or things that come our way, and we said no, it wasn't the right time, it didn't seem like a new opportunity, it didn't seem like growth. This seems like it.
Yeah, exactly.
If we all agree.
So the fact that we have teams that have evolved from Indy Hall and want to continue to be a part of it, I think the mentorship point that Jeff brought up is spot on. I've been a part of communities before that their members outgrow them and they don't, the people who organize it don't really consider it as a problem, and as a member of that community, it's a huge problem. And I think mentorship is one of the biggest things that we've gotten really good at helping cultivate at Indy Hall, where a lot of other places in the world, honestly, have fallen behind. So I think we owe it to ourselves to really try and push the envelope on that. And I think that's an opportunity that the dedicated classroom falls right in line with that. We are our own best teachers. We all have so much to share. We all have so much to learn. I think there's something very, very special about the way people learn from each other at Indy Hall. It's factoring in the diversity. It's factoring in not just what people do now, but what they've done before. And I think Bula said this on the video project that Margie's been working on. It's like, it's not just people, but it's also people in their histories. And so I think we've had this unusually rich pool that we're just scratching the surface of, and having place to experiment some more, having a little bit of breathing room to experiment some more and see what we're really made of is not just going to be valuable. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody that's involved. The better connection to the street is a huge thing. We've seen more in the last 2 years since we moved into this building specifically sort of start cropping up on 3rd Street. The WebLink is, you guys have been in that building for 4 years or 5 years? No, you can't. 5 years? And then the WebLink just opened up another office here in the north. It's just a couple doors down. On North 3rd, Eyesight's also been around for a decade, 2 decades. I don't know. Ian's been around since the dinosaurs. But other than them, there weren't as many sort of contemporary creative companies in the neighborhood. There was a lot of fine arts, a lot of boutiques and shops and things like that, and that was great. But what we've seen is this is becoming a default neighborhood for a lot of tech companies, which is really tech and creative vaguely. I hate that description because it like pigeonholes a lot of things that don't need to be. But the opportunity to make this neighborhood be the place to be for our industries, whatever industry we're coming from, is remarkable. And I think we've got some amazing support and buy-in from other companies in the neighborhood. Every conversation I've had has been excitement and support, and a lot of people point to us and say, you guys are a big part of the reason that we're here. So us being on the 2nd floor and people not being able to see in inhibit that. So imagine what it would be like if people could see in, if people could more casually connect with Indy Hall, but not just the people that are in our industries. As people are walking by, we have First Friday events, whatever it is. There's a big opportunity that I'm sure we haven't even thought of all the things that we can do by being more connected to the street. The flag is coming down, and Indy Hall flag is going up, absolutely. And then, again,
it's exciting to think that we've grown organically out. A lot of people come in, they want to be this like big landmark institution in the neighborhood. They want to take up a lot of space. They want to be really big, and they're bigger than they can even sustain themselves. And they hope to grow into it. They hope to market into it. We've grown organically into taking up the space and going onto the 1st floor. So I think that's pretty exciting for us.
And again, those are just some of our goals that I hope are also your goals. But that's that's the beginning of the list. That's it. Yes. Yeah. So one of the opportunities that this sort of provides, I mentioned that we've got sort of the storefront space. The storefront space brings a very interesting dynamic from a security perspective. Is that people's stuff is out on their desks, and you can see it from the street. Even with the security system, it's increased risk. So there's a bunch of different ways we can go about this. One of them is similar to what WebLink has done in putting interesting art installation in the window that sort of obscures the inside. There's activity in there, and I think that's good. It's also weird if people take pictures. I've walked past more times with people taking pictures than not. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about the murderous baby and the basket of bacon. I don't even know what it is. Whatever. Satan's butcher shop. Another option is to make it an actual place that's inviting to people that wouldn't otherwise walk in the door. We had interesting contact from a girl in the last couple of weeks. We're getting together with next week, and this is just an option. This is by no means the option. We've talked about everything from, what if we did like an Etsy crafter retail storefront where Etsy crafters come in and sell their stuff, and we figure out a deal that actually works and makes sense. Talked about doing some sort of pop-up concept where every 3 or 4 months it changes what's there, but it's something that'll bring in different people all the time. But all of these ideas, whatever they are, the idea would be that it's something that's sort of complementary to Indy Hall and is also woven into Indy Hall. So, for instance, with the pop-up store, the way we talked about it is, in order to become, you can do, let's say it's a 3-month lease on the pop-up space. It's actually a 6-month agreement where you come and work as a member of Indy Hall to sort of pull together all the things you need to do to launch a space so that your retail concept is most likely to be successful in the short period of time that it has. If and when it becomes successful, you can sort of not just leave the retail concept behind, but we can hand you off to a landlord or help negotiate deals around the city to help these pop-up concepts become something more permanent and potentially have a long-term relationship with those business owners. One of the crazy big ideas that we've had, but the most recent one is a cafe. Sort of what would happen if we rethought the cafe model, where cafes are sort of demotivated to keep the people there, so they aren't as comfy as they could be. They cover the power outlets and things like that. So what if it was a members-only cafe, or a cafe that favored the members, where you could come in off the street and get a cup of coffee, but it's even more expensive than Starbucks. Or if you had a membership because you're a regular, you get it at a more reasonable or even a really great rate. And this girl that contacted us about running a cafe concept was specifically targeted at providing work opportunities, work training opportunities for kids that have grown out of the foster system. So now we've got, again, this mentorship model that is so aligned with Indy Hall. I think it'd be really cool if these kids are coming in to work the cafe, and then the ones that are interested in things other than working in a cafe have sort of Indy Hall behind the scenes that they can pose their heads into and become a part of as well. Again, super high-level concepts. The retail thing, it could be anything that we're technically legally allowed to do.
Do an after-hours club.
After hours, yeah, we go coffee speakeasy and then like speakeasy afterwards.